Why does this keep happening? Ugh.
People in the Greater Klang Valley have suffered from this for too long, and even the Sultan of Selangor is not happy about it. Everyone seems to point the finger in one direction. The latest incident has forced Air Selangor to shut down various water treatment plants due to an unforeseen contamination. Over 1 million homes were affected as Air Selangor had to flush out the contaminated water by releasing raw water from several of their plants and dams. So, why does this keep happening? I had to find out more, and what I found was a long battle between private companies, the state and federal government over the control of Selangor's water sector, which included extended buyouts, a civil lawsuit, and lots of contention. So here's how the story starts. Back in February 2008, Selangor's own investment arm, KDEB, took over the control of Selangor's water treatment and distribution. They did this according to the Water Services Industry Act, WSIA 2006, which was actually established to improve the efficiency of the overall sector. So the sector was initially owned by 4 powerful concessionaires, and the package included 7 dams, 35 water treatment plants, and over 24,600 kilometers of pipes. When Selangor's government decided to fully control the state's water treatment and distribution, it made an offer to the concessionaires in 2015. 3 of the concessionaires, Syabas, Puncak, and Consortium, accepted the offers for over 6 billion ringgit, and an agreement on the restructuring was inked. However, Splash turned down the offer, and the restructuring efforts failed. The 3 stakeholders controlling Splash wanted to wait and see if they could get a higher offer. In 2014, Selangor's chief minister at the time, Khalid Ibrahim, had accused the 4 concessionaires of mismanaging resources. To add on, he believed that the 4 concessionaires had close ties with UMNO, which was BN's leading party. He was not pleased by this because it was severely delaying the entire restructuring process. The deal was also scrutinized as political indifferences were ever present between both parties. Pakatan Rakyat's leaders weren't happy with Khalid Ibrahim's decision to act alone in this, which resulted in his resignation. So this went on for so long that the founder and executive chairman of Puncak filed a 14 million ringgit civil lawsuit against Selangor and the federal government for delaying the restructuring back in 2017. Puncak was afraid that the delay would cost them damages and business opportunities in the millions. If Selangor wasn't able to resolve the issue, the federal government would have invoked the WSIA and forced Selangor's hand to accept the water deal anyway. Finally, Splash chairman Tan Sri Wan Azmi Wan Hamzah agreed to sell his 30% stake through his private company, Sweetwater, which would complete this deal. KDEB paid up to 2.55 billion ringgit for it, an amount much higher than Splash's book value. It only took 10 years for everyone to be on the same page. And what did it really cost? The amount of time spent on money, negotiations, and lawsuits have taken away focus on the real issues that affect citizens, especially during this COVID season. Problems such as the lack of proper maintenance or adequate management of the water plants result in old pipes leaking and bursting. The incident on October 16 affected unscheduled water cuts in 686 areas from PJ to Gombak. Also, human population and property developments gradually increase annually, which inevitably increases water supply needs that have to be distributed further and wider and more frequent than 10 or 20 years ago. This creates extra pressure on the state to improve their system and to ensure that the plants are future-proof. Even pollution caused by residential, agricultural, and industrial wastes have to be mitigated under a better watchful eye and not addressed after it already happens. After all, prevention is better than cure. Of course, all this won't mean anything if there's no funding to work with, and sadly, that is the root cause of this whole shebang. As a concerned citizen, I believe I speak for all of us when I say our state and federal government should listen closer to the people, or this issue may never be properly resolved.